Welcome, age of vintage society. Jennifer Jones was a top box office draw and multiple Oscar nominee during the 1940s and 50s, known for her off-screen love affair with producer David O. Selznick, as much as for her varied on-screen performances. Can Jennifer Jones only owe her career to David O. Selznick? Make sure to watch the video until the end and leave your thoughts in the comments. If you are new here, join our wonderful community by subscribing to the Age of Vintage channel. Jennifer Jones, actress of the Golden Age. Known for her intense performances, Jones was one of Hollywood's biggest stars of the 1940s and 50s. Among her most memorable roles were the vixen who vamps rowdy cowboy Gregory Peck in Duel in the Sun, and the Eurasian doctor who falls for Korean War correspondent William Holden in Love is a Many Splendid Thing. Despite her heavily dramatic screen roles, Jones conveyed an aura of shyness, even aloofness off stage. She rarely gave interviews, explaining to a reporter in 1957, "Most interviewers probe and pry into your personal life, and I just don't like it. I respect everyone's right to privacy, and I feel mine should be respected too." Jennifer Jones was an American actress who dominated the silver screen during the Hollywood golden years. Having starred in more than 20 films in a career spanning 3 decades, she won the Academy Award for Best Actress for her performance in The Song of Bernadette, and was nominated for her performances in 4 other films. Born Phyllis Eiley in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1919, Jones was an only child who spent her early years on the road with her parents' touring stock company. By age 10, she had already set her sights on a Broadway career. After graduating from Monte Cassino, a convent school in Tulsa, she spent a summer in stock and a semester in the drama department at Northwestern University, before entering the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York. There she met Robert Walker, a baby-faced, brooding young actor who had managed to survive a troubled past. As a young aspiring actress, she met and fell for young, handsome, aspiring actor Robert Walker. They soon married and moved to Chicago in order to fulfill their dreams of becoming film stars. The two married on January 2nd, 1939, almost a year to the day that they had first met. Though their plans initially fell through, Phyllis began working as a model, sporting mainly hats, gloves and jewellery, and also occasionally found some work on local radio stations, where she provided the voice for various characters in radio programs, along with her husband. Their honeymoon was a trip to Hollywood, where Jones signed a 6-month contract with Republic Pictures and was immediately cast as the girl in a Three Musketeers programmer starring John Wayne. Her next assignment was a 15-part serial, Dick Tracy's G-Men, but after 2 months she grew impatient with her small role and quit her contract. She and Walker, who had landed only a few movie walk-ons himself, returned to New York, hoping they would have better luck on the stage. Jones's career, however, was put on hold by the arrival of 2 sons, Robert Jr., born in 1940, and Michael, who came along a year later. While Walker worked as a radio actor, Jones modelled occasionally, but for the most part stayed at home with the children. She was exposed to the show business at a young age, as her parents owned and operated a travelling tent show. She began her career in a 13-week radio programme and soon ventured into Hollywood. A meeting with producer David O. Selznick, who recognised the potential the young woman possessed, set the foundation for her future career. Upon meeting Jones, Selznick, who was married at the time to Irene Mayer Selznick, was enchanted by the young actress. He was impressed with Jones's acting abilities, and this encouraged him to sign her to a personal contract. Selznick took her under his wing and groomed her into one of the most successful actresses of her era. Their professional collaboration turned into a personal one, and the duo entered into a romantic relationship, despite both of them already being married. Eventually, both Jones and Selznick divorced their respective spouses and wed each other. While under the care of David O. Selznick during the early 1940s, Jones's career took off on a high note. After auditioning for her first movie role, Henry King, a director was moved by her acting prowess. This made her qualify for the highly coveted role of Bernadette Soubirous in the 1943 film The Song of Bernadette. The drama film made Jones a star right from the word go. During her 25th birthday the coming year, she was bestowed with an Academy Award for being the Best Actress. Her popularity was given a further boost by the numerous films that she later appeared on in 2 decades. Her closeness to Selznick gave her the advantage of winning the lead roles in silver films such as Duel in the Sun, Since You Went Away, Love Letters, Clooney Brown, and Portrait of Jenny. During the 1950s she featured in several films such as Gone to Earth, Carrie, Terminal Station, and Good Morning, Miss Dove. Jones concluded her film career after playing a lead role in The Towering Inferno as Liselette Müller. This was an action drama disaster movie which went on to receive high approval from people out there. As a result of the success of this film, Jones earned herself a Golden Globe Award for being the Best Supporting Actress. Now considered a true star, Jones's career was marked out and moulded for her by Selznick, who would become the love of her life. They began an affair and eventually she left her husband and 2 sons for the producer, which ultimately led Walker to an untimely death, attributed to alcohol and drug abuse, instigated due to their separation. Both Jones and Selznick were depressed over the notices. He took refuge in an affair with his secretary. She immersed herself in yoga and spiritualism and took method acting lessons from Lee Strasberg in New York. Although seriously in debt and beginning to show signs of heart disease, Selznick secured the rights to the F. Scott Fitzgerald novel Tender is the Night, in which Jones would play Nicole, the character based on Fitzgerald's neurotic young wife, Zelda Fitzgerald. To ensure that his wife, now 39, looked young and beautiful in the movie, Selznick secured the services of George Masters, then the most sought-after and innovative hairstylist and makeup artist on the New York Hollywood scene. Masters, who was on call 24 hours a day, called the actress the most beautiful woman I ever worked on, but was quite astonished at Jones's opulent lifestyle and beauty rituals, which included having all her face creams privately tested by top dermatologists and discarded each jar after it had been used once. Jones was devoted to her husband and him to her. David was completely enslaved by her beauty, and she was enslaved by sustaining the illusion for him both as an actress and as a wife. For the Sunday parties hosted by the couple, Jones would often shower and have her hair and makeup redone 3 times during the day, changing each time into duplicate outfits so that she appeared unchanged to her guests. Throughout the shooting of Tender is the Night, Jones appeared nervous and insecure and frequently disappeared before she was to go on for a scene. Jones would make no more pictures with her husband. His health began to deteriorate rapidly, and her popularity with movie fans was fading. Selznick's last collaboration with his wife was the short-lived play The Man with the Perfect Wife, which had a brief run in Florida. Shortly after the play closed, Selznick suffered a fatal heart attack and died, after which Jones went into seclusion for nearly 6 months. It was a long adjustment for the actress who, at age 46, was alone for the first time in her life. Academy Award-winning actress Jennifer Jones only made 27 movies, but her beauty and talent was bigger than her films. Despite her success with the film industry, Jones was a very private person and managed to stay out of the spotlight that dominated so many other performers' lives. But a lack of publicity led to a lack of roles, a trend that amplified when Selznick died in 1965. Her third marriage was to multimillionaire industrialist, art collector and philanthropist Norton Simon in 1971. Simon died in 1993. She appeared in fewer and fewer films, and after a moderately successful supporting performance in The Towering Inferno, Jones decided to make that role her swan song, bowing out of the film industry. She did, however, try to revive her film career in later years by campaigning for the role of Aurora Greenway in Terms of Endearment, but Shirley MacLaine was cast instead and as a result won the Oscar for Best Actress. Jennifer Jones died 17th of December 2009 in Malibu, California. In the 21st century, Jones may not be as well known as other actresses of her time such as Ingrid Bergman, Katharine Hepburn, Greer Garson, Bette Davis, etc. But for those who know of her and her extraordinary talent, she is alluring to watch, and her acting abilities extended far greater than most of her contemporaries. Later in life, she founded the Jennifer Jones Simon Foundation for Mental Health and Education, in the memory of her daughter, who had committed suicide. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new here, and if you want to support my work, please visit my Patreon page. Now it is your turn. What do you think? Do you think Jennifer Jones would have been so successful without David O. Selznick?